नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna, everyone. Just before we start the class, we'll have a quick recap of what we did last week. Yeah, can anyone tell what were the stories we discussed last week? Whoever were there in last week's class, what were some of the stories we discussed? You can all unmute and say whatever you remember. So we went through the introduction video once, yeah, which we did in the first week, and we spoke about the description of Ayodhya, like how is Ayodhya, how massive of a kingdom is it, how beautifully is it decorated, and then we spoke about King Dasharatha, right? And then we also saw the three kind of rishis, yeah, Raja Rishi,
Deva Rishi and Brahma Rishi.
Brahma Rishi, yes, very good, yeah. So we saw about the three kind of rishis, and which rishi is Dashrath Maharaj?
Raja Rishi,
yes, very good. Okay, and then we also saw the story of Rashya Shringa. Okay, and then
can you repeat the name again?
Rashya Shringa.
Okay.
Rashya Shringa, the story of Rashya Shringa. His grandfather was Kashyapa. We saw his story and the story of how Lord Rama was born. Basically, how did they perform the horse sacrifice and how they perform Putra Kameshti Yajna, and then from the sacrificial fire they got the kheer, and how that was distributed among the three queens, Kaushalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi, and how they begot 4 glorious sons. Yes, all clear till here? Okay. Now what happens is, now we'll start this session. Okay. Now, after having the kheer, first Kaushalya gives birth to Lord Rama, okay, followed by Kaikeyi, who gives birth to Bharata, and then Sumitra, followed by Lakshmana and Shatrughna, okay. After they were born, about 13 days later, yeah, 13 days later, Vasishta Muni comes and he performs this name-giving ceremony for all the 4 kids, right? And I think if you remember from the introduction class, we discussed like how in different nakshatras these 4 sons were born. Remember? Lord Rama was born in which constellation?
Punarvasu.
Punarvasu. Great. Okay. And then Bharata was born in? Lord Rama was born in Punarvasu. You're right.
Pusa.
Pusa, correct. Yes, Mataji, right. Okay, he was born in Pusa. Okay, and then Lakshmana, Shatrughna were born in
Yeah.
Ashlesha.
Ashlesha,
correct. Ashlesha. Okay, and how does the star? Okay, in the time we were born, in the star we were born, the qualities of the person are revealed. Okay, for example, Rama was born in the constellation of Punarvasu, so he's the reservoir of all pleasure. Okay, and he gives pleasure to everyone, and he also receives pleasure. Whereas Bharata was born in Pushya. Okay, and in this Bharata means a lot of responsibilities will be on him. Okay, a big load of head. For example, he had to rule the kingdom in the absence of Lord Rama. Okay, so that was a very big like a burden on his head. And next constellation was for Lakshmana and Shatrughna?
Ashlesha.
Yeah, so Lakshmana is the reservoir of wealth, okay, or the one who is rich. It doesn't mean that he has a lot of money. It's just that in the companionship of Rama, he is wealthy in devotion. Yeah. Followed by Shatrughna. Shatrughna means the one who conquers enemies. Okay. And the biggest enemy of Shatrughna was his devotion. His devotion to Lord Rama. That became his weakness, because now he cannot serve Lord Rama because he has to be he has to accompany Bharata and support Bharata and be with Bharata, right? So he's not able to serve Lord Rama. So in this situation, this becomes Shatrughna's biggest enemy, because he has to support Bharata, who has been hated by the whole kingdom, because he was the reason that I mean, this is what people thought, okay, that he was the reason that Rama was banished from the kingdom, right? So this is where we saw till last week. And we also saw the lineage of Lord Ravanasura, right? Remember? Do you remember the lineage? Who is the mother of Ravanasura?
Kaikasi. Kaikasi.
Kaikasi, correct. Kaikasi. And the father? The father, he was the Muni, right? Vishravas, right? Vishravas, correct. And who was the mother of Kubera?
Devarani.
Ah, correct, Devrani. Okay, so and they were the descendants of Lord Brahma. Okay, so it started from Pulatsya Muni, comes back to Vishravas, and Vishravas' second wife was Kaikasi, and they had how many children? Kaikasi had how many children?
4.
4, correct. And who were they?
Shurpanaka,
Yeah.
Ravana, Vibhishana, and Kumbhakarna.
Very good. Yeah. Others can also answer. The adults, everyone can answer. Yeah, these questions are for everyone. Okay, so in this, what happens after 13 days have passed, the name giving ceremony starts, and according to the constellation, Punarvasu, Rama was given. So according to the constellations, their names were given. Yeah, and we also discussed the meaning of the names. Now, what happens after this naming ceremony is done? The sacred thread ceremony is also performed. Okay, so like this, Rama and all the 3 brothers, they all start playing. They're not much of childhood pastimes as such for Lord Rama, because he's always not been like Krishna. Okay, he's not naughty. He's always matured since he was a child. Okay, but there are 2-3 stories from Tulasidas Ramayana like that. So we'll pick up like 1 or 2 stories and discuss. Yeah, the first story is that when Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna were kids. Yeah. Sometimes mostly they used to play within themselves because they were 4 kids. But sometimes they used to go out of the kingdom and also play with other people. Okay, and they used to play hide and seek, or they used to play like tie a cloth to the eye and catch the others. But what happened as the time went? Okay, the other kids who were playing with Lord Rama, they were like, "We'll not play with you." Because even through the blind souls, Rama was able to see what is going on. Okay, because he is Lord Vishnu himself, right? All the kids used to refuse to play with them. So he used to go back and play with his brothers, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna. So likewise, when they were younger, they used to get, all these 3 queens used to dress them up with, all the jewelry and everything. But as soon as they're dressed up, they used to go and they used to play in the mud, right? So they used to make balls out of mud and throw at each other. So one day the 3 queens come and see this and they get very, very angry, okay? And they start scolding. But in this process, even they throw these mud balls at their mothers, okay? And all of them start playing. The queens will start playing with the boys. Everyone is filled with mud, okay? And there's this one character that comes, okay? I think all of you would know. Her name is Mantra, okay? Mantra comes and says, this is not the... Do you know who Mantra is?
Yes, Daddy, Mantra is the maid servant of Kaikai.
Correct, maid servant of Kaikai. Now, because Mantra comes from that, as a maid servant, okay, she is more fond of Bharata, okay. So now what happens when they were playing this mud fight? Rama makes a mud ball and throws at Mantra, okay. And now Mantra gets fully drenched in mud, okay. And everyone will start laughing at Mantra. Oh, see, she got drenched, in this full mud ball and everything, and everyone attacks her, and the Mantra starts screaming. She's like, you all are queens and you're playing in the mud, and look at this Rama, he's throwing this at me, I'm an elder person. So she talks like this, okay. The thing is, these people don't know how to enjoy the rasa, okay, of like fighting and being a part of the Leela. So from that day onwards, the hatred of Mantra towards Rama always increases, because Rama was the favorite child, okay, but she wanted Bharata to become the king. So from here, the enmity that Mantra had for Rama also increases more and more, okay. So there's also another story where the 4 kids were kept in 4 cradles. All of you know what cradle is, right? An individual bed for the baby, yeah. So what happened is, when the 4 brothers were kept in 4 different cradles, what happened is all of them start crying, okay. And they all take the baby, they try to do whatever to calm the baby, but all the 4 kids will even keep crying. So now what happens? Vishwamitra Muni comes over there Vasishta Muni comes over there and he says, why don't you put all of them in one place? Okay. So what happens? The parents put all the 4 kids in one place. Now even that doesn't work. Okay, they're still crying. And then what happens at last? What they do is they take 2 cradles off. Okay, and then in 2 cradles they put Rama and Lakshmana, and another cradle they put Bharata and Shatrughna. Okay, and as soon as they do that, all the 4 kids will stop crying. Okay, and they'll happily start playing with each other, and they'll be pinching each other's nose, playing with their wristbands and everything. So from that day, Rama and Lakshmana were inseparable, and so was Bharata and Shatrughna. So they became each other's companions. Okay, without each other they wouldn't even eat, they wouldn't even go to sleep, they will not even go as far as to the jungle to do hunting or anything. Okay, so they always used to stick together. Okay, so after this, what happens is a sacred thread ceremony is performed. Okay, it is a white color thread ceremony that is performed for the kids. After this, Vasishta Muni, he says that now is the time for the kids to come to Gurukul. Right now they have to start learning about the Vedas and all of this. So Dashrath Maharaj, you have to send the kids. Now Dashrath Maharaj takes the 4 sons and he goes to Vasishta Muni's ashrama, and he leaves the sons over there. Okay, while he's leaving, Dashratha Maharaj is still there. Okay, he doesn't leave. Okay, but he's still there. And Vasishta Muni asks, you have to leave. Okay, so that I can further teach. And he says that I want to see how my sons hold the sword. I want to see how they perform archery. So Vasishta Muni says, no, all of this is not possible. You have to go back to your kingdom. So this shows the parental affection of Dashrath Maharaj, right? He loves the kids so much, especially Lord Rama, that he's not able to leave them and go, back to the kingdom. So what happens as soon as Dashrath Maharaj leaves, Vasishta Muni, he does circumambulation of the 4 brothers, because he knows they are the avatars of Lord Lord Vishnu. So he circumambulates and he offers his, prayers to them. And what he says is, see, I am not imparting any knowledge that you do not know. But as you come as, avatars, it is my duty to teach you again all of the things you know. So hereafter in the Gurukul, what do they learn? They learn archery, they learn swordsmanship. Okay, they learn all the Vedas, they master all the things they had to be in terms of military science and everything. Okay, and after all this successful training of Gurukul, they return back to the thing. Okay, in this there's nothing much of Leela. There's maybe 1 or 2 stories, but they are not like major, or they're not mentioned in any scriptures. So we're not going to talk about them. So what happens is, once they come back to the kingdom, okay, Dashrath Maharaj starts talking with Vishwamitra Muni about their marriage. Okay, now Rama has come to age. All the 4 of them are going to turn 16. So should we start looking for their partners? While this conversation was happening, Vishwamitra Muni enters. Okay, and he enters, and then as soon as he comes, Dashrath Maharaj welcomes Vishwamitra Muni. Okay, and Vishwamitra Muni also, he gives a throne to Vishwamitra Muni. He sits there and he asks, he washes the hands, and he does all the kinds of respects that need to be done for a rishi. And then he starts asking, oh Rishi, why did you come, to the kingdom? What can I do? What is your wish? And then Vishwamitra Muni actually replies, saying that, I am engaged in a very great sacrifice for the welfare of Bharata, this whole Bharata Varsha and Bharata Kanda. So while I'm doing the sacrifice, there are 2 Rakshasas that keep interrupting. Do you know who the 2 Rakshasas are?
Marisha.
Yes, Divya Mataji?
Marisha.
Yeah, Marichi and
Marisha.
And Subahu, correct. So Marichi and Subahu. Okay, so these 2 Rakshasas named Marichi and Subahu, they kind of keep disturbing and interrupting this thing. Okay, and how do they interrupt? They drop all kind of impurities into the sacrificial fire. Okay, so in this way they keep disturbing. So he was like, I want to complete this yajna successfully. So I want your son Lord Rama to come and assist me in this. And he says that I don't need more days, I just need 10 days. Okay, I want Rama to accompany me for 10 days, and after 10 days I will safely bring back your son. And don't worry, okay, he's all like he's very well versed with archery and everything, so nothing will happen to your son. But what happens as Dashrath Maharaj is listening to what Vishwamitra Muni is saying, okay, he faints because he's so much into parental love that first he starts trembling and then he faints. After Dashrath Maharaj faints, everyone comes, to kind of wake him up. And again, he sees everything and he understands that this is not a dream, it's reality. He again faints, okay, and he faints and he falls on the floor. So after this happens, okay, he again gains consciousness after 1 hour, and he starts pleading to Vishwamitra Muni, saying that Rama is not even 16 years old. Okay, he's a very young boy, and he's not even got proper military training. Just now, he is graduated right from Gurukul. He's just finished Gurukul right now. So now, what they do is after Gurukul is finished, the sons are allotted military, things. So where they train in the military and they go and they fight war. So this has not yet happened to Lord Rama. He has not even fought a war yet. Instead, he'll say like, I will accompany you, like myself and my army. Okay, it's called Akshoni. Does anyone know what Akshoni is? Akshoni. Akshoni is a kind of military formation. Like it has this number of, a military. For example, one Akshoni has 21,850 chariots, 21,850 elephants, 1,09,350, warriors with swords and arrows, and lastly 65,610 horsemen. Okay, this is the the calculation of Akshoni. Okay, so all of you will remember, right? I hope I'll ask this question again. Yeah, how many Akshonis? So one Akshoni is equal to this many soldiers or this many keepers. Okay, so now what happens is Dashrath Maharaj says, I'll come with myself and the whole Akshoni and we will assist. Okay. By saying so, he says that, okay, but again, tell me, who are these Rakshasas? Who are these Marichi and Subahu? And who have sent them? Then Vashishta Muni replies that there's this demon called Ravanasura. Okay. And if he is not called for a sacrifice, or if he is not part of a sacrifice, then he will send these two Rakshasas to destroy this particular a sacrifice, or like cause interruption or something to the sacrifice. And now as soon as hearing Ravanasura's name, already Maharaj Dashratha is very disturbed. Okay, he doesn't want to send Lord Rama. After hearing Lord Ravana's name, he's like, no one is capable of fighting Lord Ravana, including me. Okay, so this is not possible. Please forgive me, but I am not going to accept your request. Okay, I'm not going to accept your request. So please he continuously apologizes to Vishwamitra Muni, and he says that I'll not send my son. Now Vishwamitra Muni becomes so angry that the heat in his body transfers to the earth and the whole earth will start trembling. Okay, and he says that being a Kshatriya, it's your duty to fulfill a Brahmana's wish or a thing. But right now you're refusing, so think properly before you answer again. And he again asks. And then again, what happens? Maharaj Dashrath, he refuses. He'll be like, I will come, but I cannot send my dear son, Rama to the thing. And now Vishwamitra Muni, in anger, he says that I'm going to leave this place because never in the Ikshvaku dynasty has ever anyone, or in the Raghu dynasty has anyone rejected the wish of a Brahman. No one will ever, okay, no Kshatriya will ever dishonor a Brahman's thing. And I'm going to leave this place in this instinct. And by looking at Vishwamitra's anger, Vasishtha hurries Dashrath Maharaj aside, and he starts saying that Dashrath Maharaj, see, Vashishta Muni is very angry, and you've already given a promise, so you cannot come back on this. Okay, so you have to fulfill this promise, and first you have to think about something. Okay, Vishwamitra Muni was actually a king. All of you know that, right? So Vishwamitra Muni previously was a king. Okay, so he has this knowledge of all the celestial weapons which he received from Lord Shiva. Okay, so you don't have to worry because he will teach all of this to Lord Rama, and he'll make Rama capable to fight the Rakshasas. And also, it's not like Vishwamitra Muni cannot, kill all these Rakshasas. But he wants Lord Rama to do this because he wants to increase, the glories of Lord Rama. He wants everyone to start knowing Lord Rama. And at the age of 16 itself, he was able to fight Marichi and Subahu. Okay, so for your son's glory, okay, Vishwamitra Muni is suggesting this. So I request you to send your son Lord Rama to the ashramam of Vishwamitra Muni. And after saying so, now Dasharatha Maharaj, he comes out of this parental affection, okay, and he starts agreeing. He says, okay, I accept Vishwamitra Muni's proposal and I will send Lord Rama. Okay, so now all of this is happening in the royal court. Okay, so Dasharatha Maharaj summons Rama from his quarters. So Rama comes, okay, and he's accompanied by Lakshmana, okay, because wherever Rama goes, Lakshmana will come, right? So automatically, not one son, but two sons of Dasharatha Maharaj leave Ayodhya along with Vishwamitra Muni. Okay, all clear till now? Any doubts?
No.
No? We'll continue?
Yes.
Okay, now comes the second part. Now Rama leads to the ashramam of Vishwamitra Muni. Does anyone know what is the name of Vishwamitra Muni's ashram? Like every ashrama has a name, right? Any of the other participants? It's called Siddhashrama. Okay, the ashrama's name is Siddhashrama. So they head to Siddhashrama. Okay. So now what happens is in the journey of Lord Rama from here to the ashrama, he comes across a lot of places. Okay. So we'll be hearing small stories of what these places were. Okay. Not a lot, maybe 2 or 3 lines. Okay. Now what happens is they leave, okay, to this forest with bow and arrow. And when they go, they come across river Sarayu. Okay. And Vasishtha Muni over there, he stops and he says, Lord Rama, to drink some water, okay, because they have walked for quite a bit and they have a bit of fatigue, okay. So he asks Rama and Lakshmana to drink some water. After they drank the water, he says that I will teach you 2 mantras, okay, which is called Bala and Ati Bala. By these mantras, okay, you will never feel fatigue, you will never turn old, okay, and you will have a lot of wisdom and strength, okay. So this mantras actually help Lakshmana and Rama throughout their journey of Ramayana, because they never feel fatigue. You know what fatigue is, right? Tiredness, no tiredness at all. They can walk for very long, distances, but still they'll never feel tired. Okay. So this was one of the mantras. What are the 2 mantras?
Bala and Ati Bala.
Bala and Ati Bala. So these are the 2 mantras. So after the mantras were given, the radiance.
Ati Bala.
Yeah, Bala and Ati Bala. So after receiving this mantras, they became so effulgent that Vishwamitra Muni says that they shined like 1,000 suns. Okay, the glow from their body was so much. So what happens? They rest near the Sarayu river. Okay, and the next day they start their journey to the ashrama, and on the way they see the river Ganga. Okay, and next to Ganga there was a small ashrama. Okay, and Lord Rama inquires. This is the first place they come across. And he inquires, what is this ashrama? Okay, and like who lived here? And they say that no one lived here, but this was the very same ashrama where Lord Shiva was meditating. And that is when the Cupid had come and the Cupid tried to disturb Lord Shiva's meditation. And that's when he got turned into ashes, right? The Cupid. So this is the scene. This is where in this ashrama is where this happened. So like this, they go to the next place. Okay, the next day. And there, Lord Rama hears this gushing water. The water was like it was falling from a long distance, but it was just a river. Okay, and he asks, what is this river? And Vishwamitra says, this was the river that Brahma had created, a lake, and this was created by Brahma through his mind. Okay, and he says that this river was called Manasa Sarovar. What is the river called?
Sarovar.
Manasa Sarovar. Okay. So in this river, the Sarayu river also flows. It passes through the river. Okay. We know the significance of Manasa Sarovar, right? Whenever we go to Yatra, they take us to Manasa Sarovar. It's a very important lake. Okay. So now the significance of this was because it was created from Lord Brahma's mind. Okay. And then what happens? They take rest in this bank and they start going towards the forest. Okay. And when they go towards the forest is very empty. No one is there. It is very dense. Okay. As if it was not maintained properly. And he again asks, Lord Rama asks Vishwamitra, what has happened over here? For that, Vishwamitra replies that once, King Indra had killed a demon called Vatsasura.
Vatsasura.
Varthasura. Okay. Vritsasura. Yeah.
Vritsasura.
Yeah. Correct. Thank you. Okay. So what happens in this situation is he was such a powerful demon. Okay. That Indra, just after killing him, okay, he became drenched with sinful reaction. Okay. Now to remove the sinful reaction, he had to take a bath in the Ganges. Okay, the Ganga river. So what happens as soon as he takes the bath in the river, the whole earth takes the sinful reaction of Lord Indra. So Indra, as a pity, okay, he grants a benediction to that particular land, and he says that you will be one of the most prosperous kingdoms, okay, in this place. And the kingdom, and two kingdoms were formed over there. Okay, one was Malada, 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 okay, Malada, and Malada and Karsura. Karsura. Okay, these are the two dynasties. Karsura. Yeah, so these were two dynasties that were formed in this particular place. Now, what happened is there was this one Rakchashi, okay, called Tataka, who used to always disturb the citizens who used to live in this place, okay, and everyone got first afraid. First, they used to fight with the Rakchashi and everything, okay. But later on, what happened is this her kind of torture of, like, disturbing all the villages, the common people, the sages, everything became too much, and everyone left the forest, okay, and they abandoned the forest and they went, okay. And now what Vishwamitra Muni says is that, see, Rama, you have to kill this Rakshas now, okay, because if you don't kill this Rakshashi right now, no one will ever come to this place again, okay, and stay over here. And Lord Rama, the first question he asks is, now, how did this Rakshashi become so powerful? Okay, like, how did she get so much power? Is she like a part of some kind of army, or did she get any kind of benediction? And so he'll ask these kind of queries, for which Vishwamitra Muni says that once there was a very powerful yaksha, right, like Gandharvas, yakshas, okay. There's a powerful yaksha called Suketu. All of you know, right? Suketuman. Okay, Suketuman was a powerful yaksha. So what happened is he performed a lot of austerities and he pleased Lord Brahma. Okay, and as Suketu was childless, he asked for a son. Okay, but Brahma granted him a beautiful and very powerful daughter called Tataka. Okay, so that's how she gets her powers. Okay, so Tataka was born. But what happens is when Tataka grew, she married a person called Sunda. 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 Okay, the Sunda, he kind of agitated, okay, a Muni called Agatsya Muni, okay, and he was cursed, by Agatsya Muni. And when he was cursed, okay, after cursed, Sunanda, he cursed him to die, okay. So when he was in the verge of dying, what happens? Tataka and her child, okay, Marichi is the son of Tataka, okay. They both come and they plead Agatsya, but Agatsya was in so much anger that he again even puts a thing on them, okay, saying that you both will become the most hideous looking, the most devilish of demons, asuras or like rakshasas ever, okay. So that is when Tataka actually turns into this she demon, okay, very ugly looking, horrible, with fangs and horns, and very, very tall, and she becomes this demon, okay. From that day onwards, because this place was the place where Agatsya Muni used to meditate, she had this revenge on this place, okay. She didn't like the people to live there, okay. So she used to harass everyone over there. Now Vishwamitra Muni says, see, though she is a woman, okay, she's still a demon, right? So you have to kill her. So do not show mercy just because she is a female or something like that, okay. And then he starts giving examples. He says that Lord Indra had once killed, okay, Virochana. She was a demon, okay, and she was daughter, and she was having this rampage on earth, killing everyone and going, okay. Similarly, Lord Vishnu had killed Bhrigu Muni's wife, okay, when she wanted to kill Indra. So like this, he says that, see, every, like, even gods like them, gods and demigods, like Vishnu and Indra, had to kill women in the given circumstances because they were demons and they were disturbing everyone. So it is also your duty to kill Tataka, okay. So now what happens? Rama lifts his bow, okay, and he starts tying the string of the bow, okay. He's not yet launched the arrow. Just by the string tying itself, it made such a huge noise that Tataka heard the song and she started running towards Lord Rama, okay, to attack him. Now Lord Rama says to Lakshmana, see, Lakshmana, be prepared, okay. She looks very gigantic, okay. Though she is a very terrible demon, we will not kill her. Okay, what we will do, we will just cut off her hands, feet, nose and ear. Okay, what? Hands,
Hands, feet, nose, and
nose
ears.
and ears. Okay, so this is enough, for her to get humiliated. Okay, so that we don't have to do anything else, and she'll automatically stop this kind of thing. Now, what happens as Tataki is running and coming? She's so huge, right? The whole dust in the ground is like coming up. Okay, and this is blinding Lord Rama and Lakshmana. And through the dust, all the stones are coming and falling on them. Now, Rama uses his bow, okay, and he kind of smashes all the stones. Okay, and this war starts happening between both of them. And in this time, what happens is Rama quickly cuts off Tataki's arms, okay, and Lakshmana cuts off her ears, okay. When Rama was about to cut like Tataki's nose, what happens is she disappears, okay. She has this kind of powers, right? She disappears and she again starts showering this, stones on them. Now, from voice, okay, a very impatient voice is coming out from the backside. Okay, it is Vishwamitra Muni's voice. He'll be like, Lord Rama, we do not have time, and you're showing pity over here. Showing pity towards such a Rakshashi is of no use. Okay, we should know who to show pity and who not to show pity, even though if she's a woman. Okay, in this case, you're not supposed to show pity because she is not a good person. Okay, she's a demoness, so you're not supposed to show. Please end this battle quickly. Okay, so as now the Guru has given the final orders, now Rama will not go against it. Okay, so what he does is he takes a golden arrow and he shoots it at Tataka. Okay, Tataka will be coming at a very fast speed. Okay, but still it pierces right through her heart, and at that particular place she falls down and she dies. Okay, so now what happens is after this, all the demigods will start showering, blessings and flowers on Lord Rama, appreciating that he's still Tataka, okay, who has been torturing everyone for such a long time. And secretly, the demigods will ask Vashishta Muni to come aside, and he will say that, see, Lord Rama has come here for a mission, and he's getting closer to his mission, okay. So now you have to teach him all the knowledge of the celestial weapons and all the mantras, okay, of the celestial weapons. What are celestial weapons? Like the Brahmastra and all kinds of other astras, okay. So all astra shastras will be taught to Lord Rama. So now Vishwamitra Muni agrees, and then he calls Rama and Lakshmana the next morning, and he starts giving them the whole knowledge of all these weapons, all the celestial weapons, okay, how to, like, all the mantras that needs to be done. So like the Brahmastra and all of these astras can also, just with the mantra, okay, anything can turn into an astra, okay, even a piece of grass, anything, you name anything can be made into a weapon. So this Shastra was being taught. What happens when the whole mantras were given to Lord Rama? The mantras, the astras will come and they will ask Lord Rama, how can we serve you? Okay, and Lord Rama will say, whenever I request or whenever and I think about you, I really hope you guys appear in front of me, okay, in the form of my arrow or like the mantra that I'm going to say. So in this way, they continue their journey and they approach Siddhashrama. Okay, what is Siddhashrama?
The place where Lord Shiva used to meditate.
Siddhashrama was where it was Vishwamitra's Muni ashram, right? It was the ashram where Vishwamitra Muni resided. Okay, so what happens? Now they come to Siddhashram, and Lord Rama asks, is there any significance to this ashrama that you're residing in? And Vishwamitra Muni says yes. Okay, what is the significance? We all know Lord Vamana, right? Yeah, so Lord Vamana used to reside over here. Okay, and the rishis came here approaching him for the Bali, to subdue Bali Maharaj. Okay, so this was the place where Vamana Dev lived. Okay, with who? Kashyapa and Aditi, right? The parents of Vamana Dev. So Vishwamitra Muni, he welcomes Lord Rama and Lakshmana to the ashrama. Okay, and immediately they start the preparation of the sacrifice. Okay, they prepare everything and they start, and 6 days will be passing. Okay, 6 days and 6 nights have passed. Still, Marichi and Subahu are not to be seen. These demons are so demonic in nature that they will never come on the first, second, third day. Okay, if they come, like, they can again start the yajna, right? But they will only come in the last day. And Rama and Lakshmana know this. Okay, so now they are eagerly waiting for this demon. Okay, they're seeing in all directions. From which directions will this demon come and attack? And then what happens? A blazing fire, the sacrificial fire will start burning even more. This indicates that there's some kind of thing that's going to happen. Okay, it's an indication. So then they look up in the sky and they see that Marichi and Subahu come, okay, to this place, and they start throwing, blood, stool, flush, all kinds of things into this yajna, okay, the sacrifice. But what happens? Rama and Lord Lakshmana, they create this kind of one magical shield, okay, which covers the thing, and they start attacking. Marichi and Subahu don't come alone; they come with their other demonic friends also. Okay, so they start attacking, and this small war that will be going on between this demonic people and Lakshmana and Rama. And what happens is Rama will never intend to kill Marichi. Why? Any reason, It's because he has more pastimes to perform, right? Because he has to come as a deer also, right? So now he'll not kill Marichi. What happens? He will start fighting with Marichi, okay? And what happens when he kicks him? Okay, he goes and he flies, okay? He flies 100 yojanas, right? What that is? 100 yojanas. It's like
Yojana, correct. It's like a unit of like miles and kilometers. It's a unit.
Exactly. Okay, it's like few kilometers, we say, right? Kilometers, miles, like that. So 100 yojanas he kicks, okay, and he goes and he falls in such a far place. Now what happens? Subahu, what happens is Subahu to Rama will kill, okay. He will launch an arrow and it will pierce into Subahu's chest, and he will die on the spot, okay. And now what happens after all this thing? All the other Rakshasas are scared, okay, because Marichi is defeated and Subahu is also defeated, right? And they all flee to all the places. And now, successfully the yajna is also over, okay. The sacrifice is all over, and all the rishis in the Shuddhashrama, they all are very happy and they congratulate Lord Rama, and everyone are happy, okay, because now Lord Rama mission is also completed. So after passing the night, Lord Rama comes to Vishwamitra Muni, okay, and he starts saying that now that my task has been completed, can I go back to my kingdom, which is Ayodhya, okay? And he says, Vishwamitra Muni says that we are actually going to go to the kingdom of Mithila, okay? And who is the king of Mithila?
Janaka.
Janaka, correct. Over there, Janaka is performing a huge sacrifice, okay? And he has invited me. So we all are going to go and we are going to be a part of the sacrifice arena. And I am taking you especially not to be a part of the sacrifice, but there is a great bow over here, okay? Which is the bow of Lord Shiva. So I want to go and I want you guys to see this bow, okay? Okay. So now Shiva's bow. Okay, so what happens later? They both go to Mithila, okay, on their way, and Vishwamitra Muni starts saying this. This bow is very auspicious. Lord Shiva had given this bow had dropped this bow. Okay, so this is a very significant bow, and it is Mithila, and you guys should definitely see all of this. Okay, and Rama agrees to all, and they start their journey to Janaka Maharaja's sacrifice. Okay. And after traveling through the Soma river, okay, the river is called Soma river, okay, they stop there for the night. And while doing this, Rama asks Vishwamitra Muni about the history of this Soma river. Okay, what is the Soma river? Never heard about this. And then Vashishta Muni starts saying that there was a great sage called Kusa, okay, Kusa, and he was a son of Brahma, okay, and Kusa had 4 Kshatriya sons. Okay, 4 sons who founded the 4 cities, okay, which is surrounding the river. Okay, 4 cities that are surrounding the river. And what happens? Kusha's son, okay, one of the sons, he begot 100 daughters. Okay, 100 daughters. So what happens when the girls grew up? They were very beautiful. Okay, and they lived happily together in the bank, near the bank of the Soma river. Okay, so one day what happens? A demigod called Vayu, air, right? Vayu. Yeah, Vayu comes and he sees the girls and he is very attracted to their beauty. Okay, and Vayu approaches them and he starts talking with them, and he asks all of them to be his wives. But the girls, okay, they don't like to marry Vayu. Okay, so they will refuse, and the girl says that we don't have any attachment for Vayu. Okay, and we don't wish to marry anyone who our father doesn't approve. Right? We need our father's approval to marry. But now Vayu, he gets very angry. Okay, he feels offended because he's a demigod, right? And he's like, these these girls have just refused me. Okay, this beautiful women have refused me. And in this anger, what happens is he curses them that their body will be like turning into ugly and they'll get hunched back. Okay, and like this. Now what happens is, now they go, all the 100 daughters, they go crying to this king. Okay, and then the king inquires, so what has happened? They will explain the situation, and the king was so proud of the daughters that they said what they said. Okay, they said without the king's permission, they will not marry, right? So he's a very proud father. He's very happy that he's so they have not done anything unrighteous for Vayu to put such a huge curse on them. Now what happens is, now he starts going and looking for solution to turn their girls back to normal. In this process, he hears that there's a great brahmachari called Chuli. Chuli, okay, Chuli is the name of the brahmachari, and he performs a lot of austerities and sacrifices, and he is unmarried. Okay, so what happens is, he asks the girls, okay, to go and request the Muni, okay, to give him to themselves. Okay, understand, right? So we want to be with you in such a way. So what Shuli does is he agrees. Okay, and he thus appeared in the mind, and he was born as the son for this. He obtained them a son, and the son was called as Brahmadatta. Okay, Brahmadatta was the son. Later, Brahmadatta, he ruled the kingdom. Okay, after the death of the king, and later on he found suitable matches for all the daughters. Okay, so after this, what happens is, the Brahmadatta accepts 100 all these 100 girls, and by touching their hand, the whole marriage ceremony is done. Okay, now what happens? All of these beautiful girls, again, they turn from hunched back to beautiful people. Okay, now they had hunched back, right? As soon as they marry this person, they all become very beautiful. Clear till now? Any doubts? You're clear, right? Who was Brahmadatta? Whose father was Brahmadatta?
Chuli, a brahmachari.
Chuli, correct. Chuli was the brahmachari. Okay, correct. Okay, you all are clear. Okay, so Brahmadatta. And then what happens? Vishwamitra Muni, he concludes this narration saying, this Kusamba, he had no sons. Okay, he had like 100 daughters, right? Now, as a result, okay, of the sacrifice, there was a boy called Gadi who was born. Okay, Gadi was born, and Gadi was born to Kushanaba. Yeah. And Gadi was the son of this Kushanaba, and Gadi's son was Vishwamitra Muni. Okay, so who was the father of Vishwamitra Muni?
Gadi.
So Vishwamitra Muni comes from this descendants of who? Kusa. It starts with Kusa, right? Kusa was the son of Brahma, and he had 4 Kshatriya sons. Okay, and one of the Kshatriya sons had got 100 daughters, and he wanted to do a sacrifice to obtain a son, and that son's name was Gadi, and Gadi had a son called Vishwamitra Muni. So hence over here Vishwamitra Muni says how he was a king and his own lineage. Okay, clear?
Yes.
I think this itself was too much for today, right? So you want to pause or you want to listen some more? Because again, we have the story of Ganga. Okay. So we'll pause over here for today. Okay, we'll just have a quick revision. Okay, so what were the stories we discussed today?
Story of Vishwamitra Muni, story of
Ataka, correct. Story of
Vishwamitra Muni.
Yeah, 2 stories till now, and then we heard the story of the name giving ceremony, about the 4 brothers, okay, and about the cradle story, right? And then we heard the story of the military days of them, right? How Lord Rama and everyone came to Gurukul to, and then they learned all this military science. Yes. And then we also learned that they were imparted different mantras and everything by Vishwamitra Muni. What are the two mantras given near the Sarayu River?
Bala and Ati Bala. And Ati Bala.
Bala and Ati Bala, right? Okay. And then what happens? What else did we discuss? That's it, right? We discussed how Dashratha had to send his son along with Vishwamitra Muni, right, to the ashrama. And what was the ashrama's name?
Siddhashrama.
Siddhashrama, correct. And Siddhashrama's significance was?
Because Lord Vamana was there and he pleaded, and the rishis pleaded to him to liberate themselves from Bali.
Correct. Okay, so they pleaded him, okay, to come and because Bali was torturing everyone, right, by taking up the three worlds. Okay, this was the story. Okay, any doubts so far? All of you are clear?
Yes.
All clear? No doubts. We can end the session. Yeah. Okay, we'll just say the ending prayers. And before we end, okay, today is Hanuman Jayanti. Okay, so all of you will be posting a task in the kids group. Okay, that is different. But apart from that, you can go to temple. Okay, you can recite Hanuman Chalisa. Okay, today is the birth of Lord Hanuman. Okay, so you can listen to the birth story of Lord Hanuman, how he was born and his glories and everything. Okay, so you can do all of this today. So don't forget. Okay, at least recite anything. We heard Rama Katha, that itself is a very happy thing for Lord Hanuman. Wherever Lord Rama's name is heard, Hanuman is always present there. Okay. So with that, we will end today's session. Okay. Vancha kalpatarupesya kripasindhubhyo eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnavendra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Ramayanam ki
Jai.
Ramachandra Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
All glories to our humble devotees. Thank you so much.
Hare
We'll see you all. Hare Krishna. We'll see you all next week again. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Naimisha, Vanshi, all of you be more regular. Vivan also. Okay. Thank you all for participating. See you all next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Dandavat
Hare
pranam. Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
I hope the class was okay, Mataji.
Yes, not okay. Super okay.
Yeah, if I'm going too slow, I'm too fast, or if it is too much information, please let me know. Because Ramayanam is not like Bhagavatam or something, it's a heavy subject. So please let me know, Mataji.
Than us, the super kids are there, ma'am,
Yes,
Mataji. So they are very clever and they
they
are
are.
very,
I know,
they are
Mataji, they are.
super.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have a good day.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.